Alright, so what's up guys? So we are out here on another run, doing this craziness and keeping the same tone of voice as we're out here running and conversating with y'all, right? Because, you know, it's a big thing, right? Having honest and, you know, at least kickstarting those honest conversations, right? Because that's what you want to do. But you want to go and be able to meet some cool and lovely people, right? Introduce them to your life and, you know, hopefully keep them. But how exactly can you do that if, you know, you don't get the thing going, you don't get the juices flowing in that aspect? And, you know, that's a big thing, right? How exactly to, hello, how's it going? Thank you. And, you know, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so, yeah, man, that's one big thing, is being able to kickstart conversations, right? Get them going, right? Be able to simply go up and say, hello, introduce yourself, right? And, you know, the rest will be history, right? You could talk about whatever, the game, what you like to do for work, and so forth. But you can't do that without starting the conversation first. So don't worry, because we are going to give you 4 tips to kickstart some conversations. So without further ado, we're going to tip number 1, and that is to use your environment, right? Use what's happening around you to your advantage, because, you know, that's what it's there for, right? A big aspect of being a quote-unquote social person or individual is in, you know, simply being able to take in the environment and adjust to it, right? Take in others' conversations and events and, you know, personalities and so forth, and, you know, merging all those things together into, you know, your communication with them. And, you know, almost it's easier said than done, right? That's why some of the most proficient communicators are, you know, revered so highly, right? It's almost like they have a magical gift. And although many were born with this legendary talent, you know, a big aspect of it is being aware of the environment, being aware of the things happening to them. Yo, what's up? And you know, for you, you know, a big thing, if you've even heard of the pickup environment, is situational openers, right? And, you know, they're there for a reason, right? They're there because they're good, right? People love them because it shows that you're a social person, right? You have social confidence because you know your environment and you're using it to your advantage, right? And going up to that girl. And, you know, for you, why not use that when you're meeting people in your everyday life, right? If you're at the coffee shop, start a conversation about the favorite coffee, or, you know, actually be genuine, be, you know, curious about the coffee. And that is point number 2 in kickstarting awesome conversations, is to be genuine. You know, nobody wants to talk to a fake person, right? Someone, you know, who is pretending to be someone they're not, right? If you know, are a rich person, good. But if you're not, don't pretend to be, right? There's no shame, you know, in not, you know, living up to a certain, I would even say, like, stereotype or characteristic, right? And, you know, there's so many people out there faking it. And, you know, a lot of cases you could tell, and it's very bad, especially in starting those conversations, because you'll start them off on the wrong foot, right? They'll give off the wrong vibes, right? You'll give off the impression, you know, of a liar, of an ingenuine person. And, you know, those people will not, you know, I would even say respect you in a sense, because who is going to respect someone that's not honest, that's not true to themselves? So, you know, for you, be honest, right? Take an honest look at yourself, right? Look in the mirror and, you know, understand what you got in front of you, right? Be proud of every freckle, right, and every mole and pimple that you've got, because it's you, right? It's what you present to the world, right? Whether you like it or not. And obviously you can work on certain features, but what you have right now, you got to be proud of, and you can't hide. So, and that brings us to tip numero tres, and to kickstarting some awesome conversations, and that is to work on your voice, right? Your ability to, you know, even work the room in essence, right, comes down to, you know, how, and it doesn't have to be the deepest voice in the world. Like, people often think of great voices for speaking in particular as those that are big, deep and booming, and, you know, you can hear them, it's like an earthquake. But, you know, for you, a lot of times it simply comes down, you know, to breathing, right, within your voice, right? Put some breath behind it, right? It's not necessarily talking so low and so monotone, you know, that you essentially come across as a robot, and you can even hurt, you know, your neck and, you know, your voice box and so forth, right? You can hurt that system by simply not using it in the way that's intended to, right? By simply not breathing correctly and speaking properly. So, you know, by essence, right, work on your voice, right? Talk in the shower, sing in the shower, right? And, you know, from that, you'll be able to have a commanding presence, so that when you introduce yourself, you don't come across as weak. And even times, those people who are essentially come across as weak voiced, right, and soft spoken, oftentimes aren't seen as the most ideal of leaders, right? It almost seems like they're hiding something, they're worried about something, they want something from you, right? Because why would someone sound like that? Why would someone be so tense and nervous? And I get it, right? Oftentimes these conversations can cause some anxiety on their own, but, you know, had you been comfortable there and spoke in a comfortable tone, people will trust you more, and, you know, it'll lay the groundwork for the rest of the conversation to be held in a better light. So, you know, for that, get a voice coach, right? Work on your voice, right? Play, record yourself talking, right? Reading some lines, or simply sitting in your car and observing what's going on around you, right? Like that sign over there that we see that says no right turn, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Record yourself saying that and play it back and listen to it. Because I don't know about you, but when I first heard my voice, I hated it, but I couldn't stand hearing the sound of my voice. But as, you know, time went by, I listened to it more and more. I recorded myself more and more often, and I became used to it, and I developed it, and I worked on it, and I still am to this day. So, you know, and a big thing too, you probably wouldn't be able to hear me if I'm not breathing as I do this. So, you know, that's one big thing, is to simply breathe when you talk. Breathe before you speak for, you know, your conversational openers. And, you know, without further ado, we'll go into tip number 4, into, you know, starting these conversations, and that is to, you know, simply practice it over and over again, right? Practice your opener in front of the mirror. Practice saying, hello, how are you? Right in front of that mirror. And some people, if you're seen doing this, might think you're crazy. You might feel crazy yourself, but, you know, it's for a good reason, right? You know, do it somewhere private, you know, if you can. And, you know, simply doing it over and over again will get the idea, you know, of rejection out of your mind, because by you doing it in front of the mirror, you're not expecting an end result from it, right? The mirror is not going to come up to you and become, you know, your new friend and love you till you die and so forth. And that's okay, because when you go up and talk to these people, that's going to be just like talking to your mirror, and it'll become easy and thoughtless and genuine, and people will like you and have great conversations with you. So for that, you know, with these 4 tips, we hope you're able to go off and start these wonderful conversations and, you know, meet some great people and get to know them. So for that, we say thank you and goodbye.